Our relationship has been, pretty respectful. Besides the shit he said about Bronny at Summer League.
And LeBron has established one matter absolutely transparent. He maintains documentation when it concerns Bronny. So, when Bronny was unexpectedly benched in their most recent contest, he detonated. Voices elevated. Colleagues stiffened. Coaches attempted to pacify the instance. Within moments, security was hovering adjacent to the huddle. What precisely transpired at Crypto Arena? Let's discover. The boiling juncture. Now observe, there are certain matters in this existence that you simply do not accomplish. You do not provoke a bear while it's slumbering. You do not tug a lion's tail while it's consuming. And you absolutely positively do not target a gentleman's offspring, particularly when that gentleman happens to be LeBron Raymond James, among the most influential figures in the chronicle of professional athletics. Because when you accomplish that, when you traverse that invisible boundary that separates basketball discourse from personal assaults on a gentleman's flesh and blood, something inside that gentleman fractures. And what transpired subsequently is verification that even the most composed, most disciplined, most meticulously managed athlete on the planet possesses a fracturing juncture. And ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James achieved his. But before we delve into the confrontation, we must comprehend why this pressure cooker was accumulating in the initial place. Because this didn't transpire overnight. This was months, years even of criticism, uncertainty, and outright disrespect directed squarely at Bronny James, the 21-year-old second-year guard for the Los Angeles Lakers, who has been ensnared in the crossfire of being the offspring of basketball royalty while attempting to carve out his own identity on the hardwood. Let's present the facts plainly. In the current 2025-26 campaign, Bronny averages merely 7.2 minutes per contest across 30 appearances with solely one commencement. His statistics, 2.2 points, 0.5 rebounds, 1.2 assists. Now, to the average supporters scrolling through stat sheets, those statistics scream, this youngster doesn't belong. And that's precisely the narrative that seized hold. Not merely among supporters positioned behind keyboards, but among some of the most vociferous, most influential voices in all of athletics media. The statistics weren't any divergent in the preceding campaign. Actually, Colin Cowherd, the Fox Sports host who never restrains his tongue, articulated it as bluntly as anyone could.
And remember, he is a 6'2" guard that's a non-point guard. I've never seen that existing in the current NBA.
And Cowherd wasn't concluded there. He continued accumulating with the category of frigid statistical precision that renders it challenging to dispute back.
He is 1 for 16 in the NBA from the floor, 0 for 7 on threes. He's not an NBA player.
Those are the category of statistics that pursue you around like a shadow. And Cowherd propelled the concluding nail home with a declaration that essentially summarized what half the basketball universe was murmuring. Now, Cowherd wasn't the sole individual beating this drum. Former #1 overall selection Kwame Brown, a gentleman who comprehends firsthand what it perceives like to be designated a bust, went on his YouTube channel and absolutely unloaded on Bronny following a preseason contest against the Suns, where the youngster went 0 points on 0 for 4 shooting.
Bronny performance last night, it was horrendous. I just don't understand.
And subsequently Kwame interrogated LeBron's complete basketball IQ through the lens of his offspring's performance.
He has a father who's arguably the best player who ever played the game, but it shows that it was just off of his athleticism.
With those statistics would have been eliminated from the roster already.
And I wonder what Gil's Arena and those guys gonna say now. Is that
Kwame wasn't merely calling out the press, he was calling out the culture of safeguarding around Bronny. And he wasn't concluded.
What we gonna do? ESPN is highlighting this boy one basket on ESPN, and then they wonder why people on YouTube and everybody.
And subsequently Kwame established it transparent. This isn't regarding demolishing Bronny down. It's regarding holding everyone to the identical standard.
It ain't hatred, it's stupidity, it's insanity, and it don't make sense. You want me to uplift one black man because he black and
But here's where it becomes genuinely intriguing. It wasn't merely analysts and retired competitors throwing stones. An active NBA superstar got ensnared in the crossfire too. During the 2024 Summer League, Boston Celtics superstar Jaylen Brown was captured on camera courtside appearing to declare, "I don't believe Bronny is a professional." The clip went viral, accumulating over 200,000 views. And even though Brown subsequently clarified on social platforms praising Bronny's tools and potential, the damage was accomplished. LeBron didn't forget it, not for one moment. Fast forward to February 23, 2026, following a Lakers defeat to the Celtics, and LeBron was interrogated regarding his relationship with Brown.
Our relationship has been, pretty respectful. besides the shit he said about Bronny at Summer League.
There was an awkward pause. The category that informs you a gentleman is selecting his subsequent expressions very meticulously.
I was wondering if you guys were able to get past
But other than that, we've been all right,
Were you guys able to get past that?
We'll be all right.
That precisely there informs you everything. LeBron might grin. LeBron might endorse you for MVP, but LeBron does not forget. And when you accumulate months of criticism from Coward, Quayne Brown, Jaylen Brown, Skip Bayless declaring Bronny might not possess what it requires and might never be an NBA competitor presently or perhaps ever, and Rashard McCants calling out complete podcast panels for coddling Bronny instead of holding him accountable, you commence to realize this was a volcano awaiting to erupt, and the individual positioned closest to the crater when it ultimately detonated, Stephen A. Smith. The confrontation. Now, let's establish the scene because this isn't something that transpires every day in the NBA. This is not a post-contest press conference gone sideways. This is not a tweet conflict. This is LeBron James in the flesh approaching up to the most renowned athletics commentator in America in front of cameras, in front of thousands of supporters courtside at a Lakers-Knicks contest, and letting him have it. Stephen A. Smith had been among the most persistent voices interrogating LeBron's decision to bring Bronny into the NBA spotlight. He had pleaded on national television for LeBron to pump the brakes, and subsequently arrived the expressions that everybody recalls.
Really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be towards LeBron.
And the plea that would ultimately position Stephen A. directly in LeBron's crosshairs.
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop.
Those two expressions, cease this, echoed across every athletics platform on the internet. And Stephen A. didn't cease there either. He articulated his reasoning with surgical precision.
We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's what...
Now, to Stephen A.'s credit, he insisted he was supporting Bronny. He declared he believed the youngster possessed the potential to be a damn excellent NBA competitor someday. But here's the matter regarding LeBron James. He's not listening for the caveats. He's not parsing through your argument to discover the compliment concealed underneath. He's perceiving you declare his offspring doesn't belong, and that's all he requires to perceive. So when that Lakers-Knicks contest tipped off at Crypto Arena and Stephen A. was positioned courtside with Ari Emanuel, the head of William Morris Endeavor, and none other than Larry David, LeBron approached right up to him. No agent intermediary, no telephone call, no scheduled gathering face-to-face, and he informed Stephen A. Smith in expressions not suited for television to maintain his offspring's designation out of his mouth. The subsequent morning, the recording had gone viral, and Stephen A. had no alternative but to address it on First Take.
That was LeBron James coming up to me, unexpectedly I might add, to confront me about making sure that I mind what I say about his son.
Now, Stephen A. could have gone scorched earth. He could have transformed this into a warfare. But instead, he accomplished something that caught numerous individuals off guard. He attempted to perceive it from LeBron's perspective.
That wasn't a basketball player confronting me. That was a parent. That was a father.
And that distinction is significant because it's precisely what rendered this instance so powerful. This wasn't regarding basketball statistics. This wasn't regarding field goal percentages or minutes competed or G League assignments. This was regarding a father who had observed his offspring get dragged through the mud for months and ultimately decided sufficient was sufficient. Stephen A. acknowledged that LeBron possessed every right to perceive the manner he perceived. He declared he comprehended the emotion behind it.